everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Karibu sana, karibu baba, karibu mama, karibu papa, dada, kaka, welcome back. So on today's episode, we're gonna be talking about how I'm gonna be telling you a story of how I came up with Get It to 54, how I started up my small business. Stay tuned, learn with me, as you can also share your own story on the comment. I'll really appreciate. Thank you for tuning in. So I think it was after COVID, definitely. Yes, COVID ilikuwa lini. It's now almost 2 years. I'm almost 2 years into business. Yes. So how I started up my business. So I had this pot belly nilikuwa na kitambi kubwa sana. So I tend to eat a lot, so I'm kind of shape. Fortunately or unfortunately, my sister used to like laugh at me and reminds me like, "Ayo na ebu enda gym, we nawe na itumbo yako, we nawe." So I used to feel really bad. Honestly, I used to feel really bad, but she was talking facts. So wanasemanga unless you do something about it, then they'll always talk about it or something. So nakumbuka there's this that it really got to my head. My sister, it was me, my sister, and a buddy of mine from home. I don't like my self-esteem being lowered for even a bit. So I decided, instead of always feeling so bad for myself, or like always crying out, or like always worrying me, I should do something about it. And so I decided to buy a waist trainer. I had googled about it, and so I finally got the courage to like go and buy a waist trainer. So I was just coming from work, and the mother anauzanga hapo kando ya flyover. She sells a trainer. So nikamsalimia. So it was not my first time asking her, but this particular day I had budgeted for it, and so I bought it. I came back home with it, and after 1 week I wore my waist trainer for like 3 days or 1 week, and the results were awesome. The waist trainer was so comfortable. It was everything that I've never imagined that existed outside there. So one day I told myself, why shouldn't I actually also sell it? Mbona nisiuze? Because definitely outside there are also people like me who have a big tummy and they don't know how to go about. Why shouldn't I also sell it? So that is how I started selling. And actually I wasn't even serious into selling it. Nikajiambia, let me try and reach out to somebody outside there who probably also has a big tummy and they're wondering how to go about it. So me, venye tu nilikuwa jioni nimeoga, so nikavaa hiyo waist trainer. I decided, let me take a few pictures. I decided to take a few pictures of the waist trainer when I was having it on and ikiwa hapo chini. Then sasa usiku hivi nikajiambia, ilikuwa around 6 kilekea 7, nikajiambia I have a friend who is a Kikuyu. You know, when you have Kikuyu friends, and the only way to keep your Kikuyu friends is also to have a mind like theirs. Kikuyus are always thinking about they're always thinking about business, man in general. So if you have Kikuyu friends, you definitely can relate. Those are the best human beings to have outside there as your friends. So lucky me, I was able to like have a Kikuyu friend. And so I remember the number of times alikuanga nauzanga vitu Facebook ananiambia siuze mimi, I'm like santauza nini. So I had contemplated on getting a business so much. Like it's a research I was doing on what to sell, what I cannot sell. I had actually contemplated on having a business for like the longest time, because I would see my friend was doing a business, and not really a business, but she knows how to look for money. When it comes to looking for money, she's so good at it. And so I used to admire her so much, and I was now wondering, how can I also come up with my own business? How can I actually do a business too, just like her? So my initial plan, I had even googled, my initial plan was to sell coffee, because my last employment by then was from a coffee factory. So I wanted to sell coffees to the dukas, because nilikuwa najiambia madukas hukuanga mingi mtaani, so I'll definitely have clients all over, so I'll be their main supplier. But then by the time nilikuwa na Google and I called the companies and did my research, they were telling me a profit of 0.005. Means like by the time nauza, if I manage to sell a dozen, which includes 120 pieces zile za 55, ndio nitapata around 30 bob as a profit. If I sell zile 15 bob zile 3 in 1, is when I can get a profit of 80 bob. Nikaona hii man, hii haita work. Cause pia walikuwa nakata kuniuzia if the only way for them to sell for me as a wholesale is when I'm taking a whole carton. Nikajambia hizi ni nini, sikuwa na hiyo do. I thought about many business ideas. I really thought about blending fresh juice and selling to hotels. But na naangalia tili nilikuwa nakulanga chipo, akona juice already. Nilikuwa nachoka. I'm imagining, I don't know, making what. Those things are already available. So I was really stressed up, but I didn't know what to do at the moment, but so I get to like do it either way. Cause sasa me taking pictures and nikasema bila kwa namba nilikuwa na posting Facebook marketplace. Let me also look for this Facebook marketplace and post it. So nikai post. Me, I was just randomly posting, honestly, nikalala. So the next day when I woke up, I had WhatsApp messages. I had so many inquiries on my messenger. Is this still available? Is this still available? Is this... Oh my goodness, my phone was exploding with messages of people asking me if it's still available. Where are you located? Your number, please. Can we do what? And I hadn't placed my number there. No, I had placed my number there. So some have also texted me on WhatsApp. Nilikuwa na text wengine, can you help me your number? Can you, is this available? Where are you located? Can I have one? Nilishtuka. So I started replying on these all messages. Now it was on a Saturday or it was on a Friday. So people kept asking me about, like, I had so many messages that I didn't even think of it as a business. So I decided, I had actually bought it at a certain price. Nikaongezea around 300 on top of it from the initial amount that I had bought it for. So when I posted and then people showed interest, I spent that whole day replying to messages and like giving people information about the waist trainer and the fact that they can actually see other evidence from me. So I finally got a client who called me. My first client was a very beautiful lady who was actually alikuwa amenicall morning, akaniambia akifika penye naenda tanipigia tupatane, cause nilimwambia naishi Roysambu, I can only deliver. Nikumbuka na sijua navaa size gani or nini. So mimi I was so stressed up. Ala sikuwa najua stories za packaging, like nitampeleke kikaje or nini. So I went back to this mama nikamexplainia. Then nikamwambia mimi naye niko tuna do ya moja. If you could be kind enough, unipatie size small na medium, ndio nimpeleke hizo mbili, achague between the two, you'd really help me. And the mama akwa na stress, akanipea, akaniambia wewe usijali, wewe chukua tu hizo mbili umpeleke. But I gave her the money for the price that I had bought it for. So nikachukua mbili and mother akanicall around saa 7 kielekea saa 8 ako Garden City nimpeleke. So kufika Garden City tukaenda naye kwa choo, akapima zote mbili, akaenda pamechukua ile small and akanilipa cash. Hadi nilikuwa nimemlipisha fare 50 bob. I actually inquired from my friend like how can I go about, kanambia charge your mother fare. So nikamwaju sana Garden City na Roysambu, let me just charge her 50 bob. So I charged her na kanilipa. So she gave me the total amount after kupima kafurahia. So that was my very very first client. I made my sale on the very first day of posting my business online. Sasa after ilikuwa saa 7 kielekea saa 8, so nikarudi kwa uma, then nikamlipa, nikarudisha ile ingine. Nikienda kwa nyumba around 4:30 kielekea 5, mama mwingine akaniambia sasa hapo ametoka Kawa West. Akauza kwa wapi? Nikamwambia niko Roysambu. Akaniambia niki hiyo kitu kwa gari, nitakulipa gari, najua ni 100 bob, ikuje nataka size medium, juu mimi ni medium. So si akanitumia data before aone. So mimi sasa kisha nitumia do, nikaichukua nikaweka kwa envelope kwa gari, akapelekewa. So on my first day of business I made 2 sales. na kuna mwenye alibargain between the two. Like nobody was literally bargaining at that time. It was a very swift move, like ilikuwa ina work so very fast. The next day I made 5 sales. This is how I made 5 sales. Like nilikuwa I had posted, I think I answered more than 50 people in that day. So some bought the same day, the others bought the next day. The other 5 bought the next day. So I used to have so many inquiries. So I also got interested into venturing into it. So nikaongea uma there cause so huyu madhe mwenye nilibai kwake waist trainer the first day, tukaanza kuwa friends. Like I would always go there tupige naye story, and each and every single day, hakuna day, I think the first month there was no day niliwahi kosa order ya kupeleka. So every single day I would buy things, I would pick things from her, buy things from her, go and sell. Sasa we grew so close together yenye sometimes iko nanga tunaenda, if I don't have money, she just gives me what I want. Hata akitoka soko she calls me ananiambia, by then nimeleta mali safi hapa kuja uangalie. So every time angeleta mali angenipigia niende niangalie before aziweke hapo aziuze. We had formatted that ka friendship and bond. There's a point I used to pick things from her for free. Just kama sikuwa na business, I used to do personal delivery. Ungenitisha waist trainer, I will go to that mother, pick waist trainers and take it to your place like personally. Nilikuwa natembea. Sometimes I have like almost 7 deliveries in a day. Niko job, nafanya job haraka namaliza. Niko na waist trainer kwa bag, nakimbia, mara mwingine ako Dandora, mwingine ako Kariobangi. Wakitengana nilikuwa at least at times naika kwa gari, but mwenye anataka kuchagua na kupelekea personally. Nilikuwa na make sure nikitoka hapo my client is satisfied, my client is okay. And I used to get a lot of feedback. Hii beshra yako ni poa, it is so comfortable, oh I love it, oh it's really working, tumbo yangu imereduce 3 inches nini. Wow. So but the tiresome thing was like delivering time kenye kwa nibo unapata client amekuweka kwa stage umngoje. Client communicate ukikuja, alafu one of the challenges ya kudeliver personally zilikuwa like mtu anakuweka hapo kwa stage na kwambia unangoja mtu na mngoja, and you have other deliveries to do. At time pia yani okay, thank God nobody ever failed to show up. All of them showed up. Kupotea njia, niko napotea njia, mtu akipata direction ya kwake. And then again I used to charge them just 100 bob for delivery around Nairobi. Then outside Nairobi I will charge them 200. So imagine nimecharge them say 100 bob, and this person lives in Kileleshwa. Nimefika mali, nimepotea, nimechoka, now I have taken a motorbike or a Bolt or a Uber. So hapa kwa nini ndio ilikuwa ngani nini, like I used to charge them. I worked with this mama for the longest, I think 3 to 5 months. I was buying things from her nikipeleka. She used to love me. Alikuwa kiona na watu pesa. She knows that anytime nimekuja kununua, and I thank God I used to have a lot of orders like in a day. So she used to really love me. Alikuwa ameni trust, niza chukua hata nikose kumlipea leo nitampea kesho, ana issue. I created that bond with her, and I think something about me is that I look a bit, I'm a bit, and I talk with respect. Like I give people time to like know me or understand me. I really respected her. Nilikuwa nampenda, by the way. She really did me a huge favor, like giving me things for free, advices, nini. So again, I took an initiative. I had, cause mimi after now selling. Yeah, with time I had to like, I also get to like know about other waist trainers. Like nilikuwa napata client ameni DM Facebook, and she or he is like, hey, amenitumia a picture, yeah, a different item from what I'm selling, but it's also a waist trainer, like power belt. So I had to like also find out like about other waist trainers juu mtu anakutumia picha ya Kenya nataka. So before sikuwa nataka ku lose class, like namwambia sina. So I go and nilikuwa naenda naulizia hiyo price tao, then I come back and respond to them. Yes, so then I end up kuwauzia. So I also had to go like an extra mile of googling other types of waist trainers ndio nijue. Juu msako anakuuliza uko na hii. So sikuwa nataka kukaa cheese. Mtu anakuuliza do you have a 25 steel bond? And I was like 25 steel bond ni nini? Ala sikuwa najua hii Kenya nauza. I was like normally just selling, but I didn't know a lot of things about waist trainers. So when someone would tell me like, "Hey, 25 steel bond nilikuwa na show 25 steel bond inatoka wapi?" Hiyo sasa ni nini? I had to learn about waist trainers too. There's a lot to waist trainers than just you knowing kazi yake ni ya kufunga tumbo. So that when you're buying, you need to know you're buying the right waist trainer. So me as a seller or a business person, but then I had to like have knowledge about waist trainer. Ndio msee akiniuliza nisikae chizi fulani mwenye jielewi. Eti can I get a 4 steel bond? Namuza 4 steel bond in and apparently I was actually selling a 4 steel bond. So I had to learn about waist trainers, I had to learn about 4 steel bond, 9 steel bond, and the rest. So it's also an initiative that each and every person, like, you just have to go an extra mile. There's nothing as bad as people knowing that tunauza kenye wewe hujui ni nini. You have to know what you are selling. It's also easier when you are selling to people what you know. It's easier selling to people what you actually really know. So it saved me from a lot. Yeah, sure. Yeah, so again, like when I was still like trying to like figure out how the business world is, stuff, I was actually doing it as a part-time. So each and every single moment that I had to myself, I would always use it to post my business so that other people can actually see it. I remember, so I also get to know about other apps and how they work. That is how like I also met other people through those online platforms like Gigi. I met another really good guy. I won't say mention his name, but he definitely deserves the credit. So through meeting him, like we became friends. Alikuwa na you need people, you need other business people to like tell you how business is being run or how business generally is like. I remember like meeting this guy on TikTok, on Gigi. Oh my goodness, he's been the pillar. Like he's the reason why I know most of the things that I know today. He introduced me to Jumia. He showed me so many things that I didn't know. So that was how I was able to like know about these other things aside from waist trainer, and that was how I was also able to like grow my business. So in business, you literally just, I think you need Kikuyus. That is one thing. You need to have Kikuyu friends, like people who are passionate about business or anything that relates to money, and meeting each and every person that I met along the way was worthwhile because each and every person contributed on their own way. So like I think you also need to be like kind and patient with people. You wouldn't just come to someone, or you cannot just go to someone who wants a business then who wants this and then you expect this person to actually tell you siri zake zote kwa biashara. It takes time. You have to befriend this person. They also have to see, you have to be consistent with them. Hawata kushow kila kitu on day one, but they'll surely tell you with time. So you also have to learn to be patient on your end and give them that time to also be able to open up with you. Like it's not something that just happens like that. It's a procedure that you have to follow. You have to befriend them, you have to give them time. You also have to learn on your own on this other side, because you cannot be told everything. So yes, I think, yeah, he told me about so many things that I know today. He told me how to use Gigi. He taught me how to use Jumia, Sky Garden now again. Oh, it's a very long procedure. And again now I had to meet a rider, and through connecting with people, that was how I also knew about Sky Garden and the rest of the website out there that are buying and selling, platforms that you can actually use to sell your products. That was how I also came to know about Sky Garden, of which it was my rider who told me about it. He used to work with Sky Garden, so he told me about Sky Garden, and that was how I was also able to know about it. So it's a whole procedure that needs to be followed. Yes. So in business, you definitely need You need people, you need to associate with people, you need to know people, because there's a lot to business than just you selling. You have to meet riders, because at some point you won't be able to deliver the items on your own, and it's also time consuming. So you need to learn, you need to know the trends that are actually going on around. So it's an entire process, but it's worthwhile. I always tell people that it's worth, this is a lifetime